session, and we do this once a week, as you know, and we'll be talking about the four summer fruits. And we went over some summer fruits last week because we are moving from the minor heat into the major heat. And that a major heat in the summertime is now going to be upon us. And as we can see in the States, it's already started to do some real damage to, like, out west, if you're out west, and some really high record temperatures. And it's moving a lot of different energies around the world because Germany has been having some flooding, and a lot of Europe has been having flooding. And so the earth is going through its natural changes. So let's deal with the four summer fruits that we're going to be talking about today. And today we're going to be talking about lychee. Lychee. And lychee is one of those really yummy summer fruits. And I'm sure anybody who's enjoyed lychee, you see that it's on the treetop and it's a yang fruit. So in the body type system, we consider all the treetop fruits a yang fruit. And lychee has a particular flavor. It's very sweet and astringent. Now, astringent means that it allows the body to now reserve the fluids. So in the summertime, we get very hot and the body is perspiring to cool us down. Well, if you're doing that too often, then we say in Chinese medicine, your body starts to now leak out any of the vital force or the qi too much, and the qi goes out with the fluid. So with lychee, with its astringent nature, this actually now moderates the perspiration so that your vital force doesn't go out with it, and it can actually extend your longevity so that the heat of the summer, it doesn't exhaust you. So normally if it gets too hot, especially in ancient times, no air conditioning. So hot that that heat literally so debilitating that you feel low energy, you feel exhaustion, and you feel weak. With lychee, this restores that for you, and you start to do what? Nurture your blood, because it has the aspect of now allowing the blood to get rich again, and now be able to use its vital function of what? Cooling your body down. One aspect of the blood is that it works like radiator fluid. The radiator fluid goes into the hottest point of the engine, takes out the heat, goes to the fins and cools it down, and then takes that cool and goes back to hot, cold, and now cools the engine down and keeps a stable engine temperature. Well, that's what your blood does. But doing that over a certain amount of time, then what happens? Now the radiator fluid wears out. So that's what could happen to your blood. So now with lychee, you now restore the blood every 120 days, your red blood cells wear out. Now I'm eating lychee. Then now when my body is putting out that new red blood cell at 7 days, my body can now build up and now restore it when it gets to the worker horse at 90 days. So this will replenish any type of exhaustion feeling and then increase your endurance by you now eating the lychee. Then in the heat of the summer, you feel irritable. You don't feel just like yourself, because why? It's too hot. You're irritable. You're cranky. Now what? That they call that a disturbance of the spirit in ancient times. So lychee will actually help calm you down, calm your anxiety, help stabilize you, because now you don't feel all that tension. Then it says soothes the liver. This is ancient terms, meaning that the liver, we say, is the seat of all emotion. And so now you're irritable, you're cranky, you're flipping everybody off, you have a short temper. This will help keep your liver happy, calm your body's emotions down, and then now you're back to your old self. Now, regulates chi means regulating the circulation. So if it's helping the blood, helping to keep you calm, helping you to not overreact and too quickly react, then now this will help your overall circulation. So then that's when we're talking about lychee. Now we can go to another fruit, and that other fruit is green plum. Green plum. So this is a different type of plum because we have the red plums, and then we have the darker purple plums. Yeah. But these green plums now you can find in Asia, and now these have a more sweet and sour type flavor. And in the summertime, this can actually help stimulate the appetite, help aids in digestion, help regulate the body's fluids now, because now with sour, what does sour do? It actually brings the fluids back to the salivary glands, and then so that it doesn't leak out. Just like it's being astringent, sour has an astringent function as well. And it'll help you now stop your thirst, especially in summertime. And then softening and soothing the liver will help you with your emotional content so that your body doesn't do what? Overreact. So then you're not so emotional, you're not so reactive, you're not so irritable, and then just reacting out. Okay. Then we say removing stagnation of the chi. That means that if you get irritable, you get angry, we say that this makes your chi stagnation. You don't have the patience that you normally have during other times because you're just so uncomfortable in the heat that you're just reacting all the time. Now, this last one is we say removes the feeling of the steaming bones. Now, this is an ancient understanding that it can get so hot, you feel it in your bones. And when you feel it in your bones, you literally feel like the steam is rising out of your bones. So if you ever had that feeling, then it's just like, it's just so uncomfortably hot that you feel it in your bones. Then now you eat the green plum and then that feeling goes away. And you're like, wow, that was a weird feeling, but it goes away. So now this is why this is a great option using the lychee as well as the green plum for the yang types, the yang types. So then now we can move towards the yin types, and we're going to talk about a tomato first. So we know tomato is a fruit. It's a low to the ground vine fruit. And this can now produce a lot of fluids in the body because if you ever eat the tomato, whether it be raw or making things like tomato jam, then this will help promote your body's fluids. This will help quench your thirst, but this regulates the digestion by adjusting the pH of the stomach, aids the digestion, cooling the blood. Now, remember, when we say cooling blood in Chinese medicine, we have this concept, like in ancient times, they would say that the blood is boiling. And that means that it's so hot that inside your body is now literally, the blood is coming to the surface. So many times if we see rash in the summer, or we see like what they're calling eczema or atopic dermatitis in Western medicine, all of that to us is heat. Well, many of these rashes can boil over and come to the surface. And that's the way that we look at it in Chinese medicine. So then now this will cool the blood down and bring the blood back into the vessels and not to the skin. So then that's why we would add tomato. So then because it's cooling the blood, it also clears that heat out and allows the heat to escape so it's not trapped in the body. Because it does that, now any toxins that was built up during that transaction actually will now eliminate throughout the body. So then now, because the body is now clearing heat, cooling blood, and detoxifying, then now it calms that liver down. So our liver doesn't have that irritability, and we're not having any of the type of reaction from the seat of emotions, the liver. The liver is the seat of emotions. So we're not, like I said, getting irritable, cussing people out, just having a bad day all day, every day. So then now we're looking at aiding the digestion and then removing any stagnant food. Many times in the summer, like I said, they didn't have any type of AC. So if you ate something and it actually didn't agree with you in such a way where it created what we call food retention, the food is just sitting in your stomach and it won't go down. So then you're having all kinds of, loose stool, diarrhea, all kinds of infections type stuff. Then now the tomato can now detoxify and allow that food to go down by re-regulating and making the pH of the stomach back to its normal, and then that food will start to, those particles of food will start to go down. So then now we have the low to the ground vine fruit tomato, and we're doing that, and we are now moving forward to doing edamame or soybean or tofu. Tofu is the soybean curd. Okay, so we say that this is cool, nature, and sweet, but the edamame now clears the heat, now lubricating the dryness. Many times, if you're having really a terrible experience with the heat, and now it's drying your body out, then now the edamame will now help produce fluids in the colon area and help lubricate, so that if you're having hard, dry stool that's just very hard for you to pass and your body cannot push it out, then that's creating a kind of dry constipation. So then the edamame can help lubricate that dryness that's in the actual colon area. But then now, remember we talked about it, the heat now rising and then creating all kinds of rashes. Well, then now the skin is so hot that it literally dries the skin out. Now you have this flaky kind of skin issue. Now we can use that to also lubricate dryness. So then now that promotes, obviously, the production of body fluid as well as detoxifying. And then when it says strengthening the stomach and spleen, we're talking about the digestion, the overall digestion. So the stomach and spleen in Chinese medicine is related to the pancreas as well. So this is all digestive function when we're saying this. So then now when you're eating this, and then now your body can now start to cool down, look at what's happening. Everything is now, instead of rising up, it's going down and it's moving down through. And now your body can stay calm. Instead of heating up, it can start to cool down, remain calm and remain easy. And everything will start to go your way in the summer. Because remember, we're moving from the summer solstice to minor heat. Now we're about to move into the major heat. And when that major heat period is happening, now we need to make sure that we're balancing ourselves out. Remember, first comes balance, then maintaining that balance long term is considered harmony. So we're constantly looking to balance the body out and then harmonize the body with the appropriate fruits of the time. If it's very, very hot out, then we need something to cool us down. Later on in the years, we're going to be talking about if it's very, very cold out, we'll go do things to warm us up. So then it's always seeking balance, and then maintaining the balance of that season is harmonizing, So our goal in the body type system is always to do what? Maintain harmony, just constantly ebbing and flowing like the tides, so that we're maintaining harmony and kind of synchronicity. So then, excellent.